Hi, I'm Sam from Radar Music Videos, and we're doing a podcast or vidcast with Ellis Bahl, who is one of our Wondrous alumni. Hi Ellis, how's it going?
Very good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good.
We're going to have a chat about a few things. First of all, you're in London at the moment because you came down for some MVAs. What happened at the MVAs?
Well, I won, so that was cool. Also, a lot of drinking happened at the MBAs. Yeah, it was very exciting, very cool. And I finally got to meet everybody too that I had been working with through email and Skype, like Connie Mead at Infectious and Caroline at Radar and all the people. It was pretty weird to have worked with them for 7 months or whatever, and then finally meet them in person. But that's the magic of the internet.
Yeah.
Mm,
Congratulations on your award. I mean, it's very well deserved.
thank you.
And that video commissioned on Radar, so it's great for us. Very nice.
Yes.
Thanks for choosing Radar. So we'll work up to that. Um, when did you start as a filmmaker? Are we talking sort of in the distant past, like childhood filmmaker, or are we talking sort of something you picked up later?
Yeah, I'm one of those, you know, always had a camera in his hands since he was 8 or whatever kind of guys. I think I found my dad's video camera in our basement and started making videos with my friends and stuff, and I just sort of assumed the role of the director. Uh, and then when my friends got really bored of me being bossy, I started using Legos and train sets and things like that, and taught myself how to do stop picture animation. Um, but yeah, so then I went to college for it and lost interest, and I kind of got into acting and improv comedy and stuff like that. And then after a couple years of massive failure in the performance arena, I kind of got back into filmmaking and music videos in particular. And I had never even seen a music video. That's not true. I had seen music videos, but I really didn't watch music videos until like 2 years ago. And
Okay.
that's about when I found Radar also.
Okay,
Like
cool.
two.
You wanted to get like almost back into filmmaking when you decided to start with Radar.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
mean, why did you sign up for Radar? How did you come across it?
I found Radar. Oh yes, I was like looking for inspiration, and I had just discovered like that blogs existed because I was like really behind. And a girlfriend at the time was would go to lots of different like art blogs and things, and so one of the ones she recommended is this site called Boom with 6 or 8 O's in the
A
middle.
number of O's, yeah.
Yeah, and then on the right hand side they have friends listed, and Radar was one of them. And I saw Radar music videos, and I was interested in music videos, so I clicked on the link, and that is how the love affair started.
I
Um,
mean, what was the first thing you pitched for on Radar then?
I couldn't tell you, I don't remember.
But so how long was it before you pitched for Alt J then?
Well, it must have been a year or two at least. Um, Trying to think, because so Alt J was in February. I pitched, and I had been on Radar for at least a year or two before that, and I had never won anything. I pitched probably like 10 or 15 times, I think. Maybe not. Maybe 10.
Okay, so what
Uh,
else were you doing around the same time? Were you you're making your own short films and bits and bobs as well, or
no, not really. I so what happened was I bought a I was working at a clothing store in the basement and stocking, and then I wanted to get back into filmmaking, so I spent my savings on a camera and a computer, and I didn't even really know how to use a camera, so I went on this road trip with a friend, and he shot a music video that I sort of directed, and then from that I got a job at MTV, and I started working as an associate producer at MTV, and I just sort of lied and told them that I knew how to use the Canon 7D, and so I became like a shooter editor. Um, and then I started just making in-house music videos for MTV um, that way, and it just kind of continued for about 2 years.
Cool.
And then I was shooting music videos on the side too, like for personal projects.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why did you want to pitch on Alt J in the first place then? Really, I mean, was it something about the song and the treatment, or the label that sort of drew you?
It was the budget. Uh,
Can't
it was the
blame
biggest
you for
budget
that.
I had on Radar at that time. Because from what I've seen, it looks like Radar now is having like lots of bigger budgets, but back then it seemed most of the budgets were very, very small, like $200 or $500, and this one was £4,000, and then in America that's $6,000, so that was huge for me at that time. It was a massive budget, so that really drew me to it, and it's kind of one of those things where I had my fingers crossed, like please let this be a good track, and then sure enough, the track was brilliant. So those two things combined made me really, really want it.
Amazing. So, I mean, for anyone watching at home, you can see Alice's treatment on the Radar Music Videos blog at the moment. So we know what you did for the video. I mean, making the video, I mean, it was amazing enough to have that sort of story planned out in your head. I mean, and the treatment looks very chain of thought, and it, it's amazing to think that. I mean, how did you go about filming it? Is the question really?
Um, from what stage do you want to hear about?
Literally, I mean, putting it together. I mean, how long did it take you to put the sort of pre-production into action? Then, I mean, decide exactly how practically you were going to do it.
We in a little less than a week, 6 days, I think,
Okay, cool.
5 or 6 days. Basically, yeah. So I hired a production company and a DP on Saturday, and then we shot it the following Saturday. So yeah, a week. And basically, we kind of just like started just talking about it a lot and figuring it out. And once we had the location locked, then we could really plan it out. And I had it pretty much planned out in my head the way I wanted it. And then the location was the final like piece that just made like logistics.
Okay.
You know,
Do you storyboard, or is it sort of
no.
no? And I mean, you say you had it planned out in your head. I mean, I was talking to. I mean, I read elsewhere that when you were doing your Walk Off the Earth video, you had. I mean, that's the for anyone else, it's an amazing sort of one-shot video, but it's not a one-shot video in a way, but it is. I mean, is that something that you planned out as well? That in your head?
I did it out. I just had a big piece of paper and I just sort of I put each like what I did for that one was I broke each piece of the song into I labeled each little element in the song that I wanted to highlight, and then I just took a piece of paper and sort of just shuffled them around in random order, like little pieces, and then I just figured out how to like then restructured this. I had someone cut up the song and restructure it that way, and then I just imagined that piece of paper as the hallway. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I suppose it makes more sense to you.
Yeah, probably. I mean, most of
But
my stuff does.
um,
Right.
okay, so yeah, that's if we go on then after Alt J. I mean, so Breezeblocks came out and everyone loved it. It got featured on a load of places. I mean, how much promotion did you put in yourself? Were you
My
really sort of
grandma
pushing
did.
that video?
What? What'd you say?
Oh, sorry, I said, were you really pushing that video?
Oh, was I? Not
Yeah.
really. I mean, I put it on YouTube, and well, the label put it on YouTube, and I put it on Vimeo. And I sent it to Video Static. So that's where the three places, and it got a Vimeo staff pick, so that automatically gets a video like something like 50,000 hits if you get a Vimeo staff pick.
Yeah.
And then all the like film blogs get really excited about it or whatever, and then Alt J was also blowing up at the same time, so kind of caught that wave. And music blogs were really like loving it and stuff. And I think Infectious, the music label that Alt J's on, they did a really good job pushing it and getting it on lots of blogs and stuff, and getting it featured in Huffington Post. And it was sort of hard. It was hard to say, who how it happened, but it was sort of just like a perfect storm of of a
Yeah,
good band,
of good things.
all this stuff.
Okay, so like, what was the bridge then between getting picked up by, well, getting wrecked? So getting picked up by Doomsday, was it?
Yeah, I first signed with Doomsday in August, and then I signed with Colonel Blimp a couple weeks ago.
So I mean, no, I mean, how long was it between the release of Alt J and signing with Doomsday?
Um, 5 or 6 months.
Okay, and what was that process then? Were you aware of it getting pushed towards production companies, and then, or you
Well, no,
pushing?
I got pushed over those goats. So I got approached immediately by a few production companies, by like two or three almost immediately, and that was really crazy for me because I that was basically like the dream, that was what I had been pushing for 2 years. That was like my end goal for 2 years, and it was happening. And then after so like I was working with some companies and stuff, and then it kind of I got like dropped, and just sort of like radio silence from all of them. And that went on. And I was sort of they didn't talk to me for like 2 months over the summer, and it was really scary and depressing. And I thought I was never going to work, and I thought I was blacklisted. Had no idea what was going on, and it was a really dark time, sort of, because I had written all these treatments, and none of them got booked.
Yeah,
And,
I mean,
I started meeting people, and I went to the Vimeo festival, met a lot of people, and I just started talking and telling everyone what was going on with me and what I was looking for. I ended up finding Doomsday through a number of connections that I made. Like one person would recommend me talking to another person who would recommend me talking to another person, and so on and so on and so on. And each time it was like, "Hey, you should talk to Ellis. He's the guy that did that Alt A Breezeblocks video, and like really like him." And and then they passed me on. And it kind of just kept going like that until I met um, Hind, who runs Doomsday, and then we were talking for a while, and then we just she decided to start sending me tracks and try it out, and I started writing on tracks, and then I won the Red Hands video, the Walk Off the Earth video. That was the first one I won with them, and then when I won that, I was signed. So that was sort of the
bro. But it's like, it's interesting what you say about the summer and losing contact with everyone and then getting back in. I mean, it must have been pretty scary, really.
it
Thinking
was
that you sort
super.
of done something big and it's sort of reached a bigger audience, and then suddenly you find yourself like almost back where you started, or maybe not even where you started. It's
Yeah, it's so crazy because I mean, like the thing blew up, and I got all this attention, I got what I had been wanting, uh, and then when the buzz kind of fell, when the floor dropped out and the buzz stopped and everything, and everyone was talking to me, and I didn't have any work, and I didn't have a real job anymore, and I was like broke, and I mean I'm still broke, but I was broke with broke with no hope at that point, and uh, yeah, because I didn't think that I thought I had missed my opportunity. I didn't think that buzz would happen again, but then. It's really weird how when you start working again, I started working again in September and
mm,
October, and then the UK MBAs happened, and then all of a sudden, all this buzz started happening again with Breezeblocks, and I was like, and so I had this like second wave of excitement about the video, and then I got signed to another company, and uh, I'm having all these meetings now with like record labels and commissioners and fans and stuff. Uh,
yeah,
still
amazing.
based off of Breeze Blocks.
Yeah. So I mean,
Great.
thinking about Colonel Blimp, what's coming up? What's on the anything you can tell us about? Anything that's on the roster? Anything you've been working on?
No, nothing right now. I've been writing on a lot of stuff. A lot of it's fallen through for various reasons. But there are a lot of big projects on the, or potential projects on the horizon. But I don't have anything right now. It's a lot of meetings, a lot of writing, a lot of like watching things fall through your fingers, sort of. Yeah.
Oh, well, best of luck with everything coming up, and we look forward to seeing anything that you produce. So it'll
Thank
be,
you.
yeah, I'm sure
Yeah, I
it'll be
should have
amazing.
seen by the end of December or early January. That's when everything seems to be slated to start. So,
Cool,
so
bro.
check back then.
I really like. I was looking at your website today because I was sort of trying to learn everything about you via the internet for the interview in a non-creepy way. And I really like your comedy, your little comedy sketches on your website. They're amazing.
Yeah,
Do you still? I presume you write and shoot those, and you still doing bits and
yeah.
bobs like that?
I don't, and I want to. And I was actually so funny to bring that up because I was just thinking about that today. I was like, I should just get back into that. I should make a funny music video. Like, why not? Why do I have to make these like serious music videos? Um, so I
Yeah,
might do that.
yeah. Be exciting to see.
maybe that's the maybe that'll get me out of my rut. But
Okay, quick one-line advice to directors on radar at the moment.
uh, don't give up. And this is not quick, but hold on. I could get, it basically I would say the real thing is just don't give up and do what you want to do, and just don't try to do what you think other people want because it will always be bad if you try to do what other people want.
Cool. That's great. That's really great advice. Thanks,
Thanks.
man.
Yeah,
Um,
you're
have a
welcome.
have a good evening. We'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.